Hello, welcome to Steep Awhile. My name is Rachel Sherriea, and I am honored to have you here as I conquer a fear of being vulnerable in front of a camera and with my articles. So that's what I'm here to do. I am going to confront this fear and I'm going to be consistent in it, just like I said in my article. Now, if you would like to learn more about what I'm even referring to, please check out my Substack. There's a link in the description and you can read all about that. But in that article, I did talk about that there are a couple of other fears that I also want to work on. And so here's what those fears are. Number one, a fear of an endocrinologist. I said it right. Okay. So this is a doctor that, can test your hormone levels. And I have had a fear of going because I've had concerns. I have fibroids, I have PMDD, I had other issues like that that I deal with monthly. And so I really do want to go to a hormone specialist doctor to see what's going on, to see if there's anything I can do to help with that. So instead of just being afraid of what could be, I don't want to be an ignorance is bliss. I want to go see for myself, because what point is it to just be in fear? Because regardless if I go to the doctor, whatever's going on with my body is going on with my body. So I might as well be informed so I can make better decisions around it than to just be a mystery around that. Well-being is taking care of your body as well. And so I don't want to not take care of myself just out of fear. So my goal for this month is to find an endocrinologist. So baby step, find an endocrinologist that I can see in Memphis and just go get tested and see where my hormone levels are. So I plan on doing that. So fear number one, we're going to get rid of that. The second fear is not being an effective enough coach. I have had quite a transition of going from instructional designer to coach. It hasn't been too bad because as an instructional designer, I do ask a lot of questions. And that has helped me being able to ask intentional questions as a coach. And so it's really been about just trying to fine tune my style of coaching. And one of the things that I learned from feedback from my manager, as I'm explaining my experiences with her, is that I try to go and save the day with my coaching clients, and I can't do that. In coaching, at least in the training that I experienced for my certification, you're not here to tell people what to do. What you are here is to be a thought partner with them and a really good listener. So I ask very intentional questions, detailed questions about the situation that they're in. And I prompt them with those questions to think through what is the best solution for them to take. So what are their options? Let's weigh the options together, the pros and cons. What would actually work for your situation that you feel comfortable with? And now let's pace yourself of making sure that you're not overwhelming yourself trying to get there or, stress yourself out trying to get there. Let's make sure you're pacing yourself there. And also let's make sure we're holding you accountable. So what ways can we make sure that there's accountability baked into this? So these conversations are partnership questions, not Rachel put on a cape and went and tried to save a day and tell you what to do. A lot of that comes from the fact that I've struggled with a lot of these well-being topics myself. I've struggled with imposter syndrome. I've struggled with insecurities. I've struggled with, just trying to feel comfortable in my own skin with the roles that I had. And so because of that, I hate to see other people struggling with that. So I can get really energized and wanting to save the day of like, oh no, we're not going to allow this negative talk to happen. You are better than this. You can do this. Let me tell you how. And so I get into this kind of mode and it's very passionate. And while, some people appreciate that pep talk, I know that that is not my role. My role is not to do with pep talk. My role is to be a support to help them think through stuff. So they can come up with the best solution for themselves. So I'm adjusting through that. Shout out to my manager who has been amazing in helping me to see that and understand that. Also shout out to my therapist who also helped me with that because I realized how much that was draining me to be in that saving mode. It was draining me. I was wondering why I was feeling so burnt out from coaching, and that was the reason why. So all the more reason why feedback is a gift, because then you're able to really make better conscious decisions. So I'm grateful for that. So moving forward, keep getting feedback And I'm just going to take things one step at a time and remember that skills are built over time. Me feeling like I should be an expert coach immediately after getting my certification is silly. I need to be nicer and give more grace to myself as I continue to work on this skill. So that's what I'm going to do. My next fear is not having all my ducks in a row for retirement. I am your typical millennial, okay? I am trying my best to make sure my finances are in order, but at 37, I'm realizing the time is flying by quickly. So I need to make sure that all my ducks in a row. Now, I have been distracted with student loan debt, which I just got forgiven for. Thank you, Biden, for passing that law for the pandemic, because that's the only way that I was able to do it. But it was that forgiveness bill since I work at a nonprofit. So that was what helped me to get out of student loan debt. Outside of that, it's just that I have credit card debt that I need to get out of. And so with that, it makes it a little bit harder to save up for retirement if you're still trying to get out of debt. So that's what I'm trying to work on, of, being more mindful and more disciplined in my spending so that I can do better about my retirement. So instead of dwelling on this fear, I have decided, let me take a baby step of what's within my control. What's in my control right now in this moment is that I can lean on my benefits from my job. And you should too. Check out your benefits package, because you never know what's there that you can take advantage of. But to look there, because I can get free financial advising coaching, from someone to help me make those decisions. So that's what my plan is to be. I do have something in my retirement funds. It's just not where it needs to be. So I'm hoping I can make a good plan of how I can get to where I need to be so I can retire comfortably at the time that I want to. So baby step. I'm going to do that this month. I'm going to figure this out. The next fear is fear of losing my community. I know that not all friendships are forever. I've had a lot of friends who were here for just a season, and I'm grateful for the season that I did have them in, because it did help me at that time in my life. But some of those friendships have ended. And, I just have gotten nervous of, losing friends kind of thing. I don't want to, not have a community of people. Now, at this moment, I do have a very vibrant community of friends and some very, very close friends as well. Four in particular that comes to mind, who are very, very, close friends of mine, who have seen my ups and downs and that have encouraged me, supported me, prayed for me, told me about myself in love. And I'm very appreciative for them, and I don't ever want to lose those friendships. So I know that I can't control anyone but myself. So it's just acknowledging the fact that I can't make somebody stay my friend. So what I can control is just to be the best friend that I can be for them. And if they choose to walk away, that's their choice. But at least I can say I did what I could to be a good community member. So I've been trying to be a good community member with my friends, but a baby step to help, combat that fear is that recently, for my birthday dinner that I had with the four of them, I basically just told them, like, hey, let me remind you that I know it's my birthday and y'all are celebrating me, but I want to celebrate you all because you all have helped me stay sane in this year. And I just showed, I just tried to give gratitude as much as I can for the different ways they've showed up for me. And I just told them, like, hey, if there's any way that I can be a better friend to you, please let me know. If there's things that you're going through, please tell me. I can't read your mind. I can't bully you into telling me either. It's so easy to tell people who care about us that, oh, I'm fine, everything's great, nothing's wrong, because we don't want to seem like a burden, or we're thinking that our situation is meaningless compared to their situation, or you don't want to, try to grab attention, or, things like that. We come up with all these reasons of how we're being selfish by sharing what's going on with us. But that's not a true friendship if that's the dynamic of you just sharing your life is selfish. So I have learned that, and I've done better my own self of sharing that. being more transparent about what's going on with me to my closest friends. But I just encourage them like, hey, let me have the opportunity to be a good friend to you too. Let me show up for you. Let me be there for you, and I'm only going to be able to do that if you tell me. Now, of course, I'm checking in with them. I'm always checking in with them, seeing how they're doing, reaching out to meet up, hang out, whatever. But I'm just telling them when I ask about you, please tell me if things aren't going well so that I can do what I can to be there for you. And I think they listened to me, saw some head nods. One of them wanted to cry. The other ones just told me, this is a good reminder. I need to know that. And so I feel better about that because I actually just had the conversation with them and just shared my heart to them. And hopefully they believe me. And, we could just go forward and be a happy little community to support each other. So I no longer have that fear because I know I'm doing everything in my power to be a good friend. And if the chips fall in a way that I don't like, then hey, at least I can say that I was still a good friend. So those are my fears that I plan on combating and, the plans I have around it. And so I just want to encourage you, if you are experiencing any fears right now, don't give them so much power. Do a couple things. One, acknowledge what those fears are and, identify what they are. And then the next thing is to look and see what's within your control. If most of it is outside your control, then you're really just letting your anxious imagination just run amok. And you need to put that thing back on a leash, okay? And focus more on what you can control in the situation. And whatever that is, take a baby step. Don't try to solve everything at once. Just take a baby step of what you can do for that situation. All right. Take that baby step and just make small baby steps from there. Progress is fantastic. A lot of issues in life are not fixed immediately. You can't just microwave stuff to be the perfect solution and it should fix it and you can move right on. Some things are going to take time. So try to make sure that you are only focusing on the things you can control. And then I would tell you too, to just be fair when you're thinking through the situation. Don't give the cons more power than the pros. When you're thinking through decisions of what to do, sometimes we emphasize the cons so much and, empower it so much that we are not paying attention to the very fair portion of what the pros are. And we end up making decisions that we regret because we simply over amplified the cons to a unfair level. So I've been trying to watch myself with that. Am I being just as fair about acknowledging the good that can happen versus the bad that can happen? Because it's important to be fair to yourself when you're thinking through these things. So I want to encourage you to do that. For whatever fears you might have, share with me your experience. What are some things that you're trying to apply that work to and trying to be better at so that you're not allowing fears to control your narrative of your life? I love to hear from you. And I want to encourage you to, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. I'm a words of affirmation girly, so I would appreciate anything that you're able to share. Subscribe to this YouTube channel or subscribe to Substack or subscribe to both, honestly. My Substack is free or paid subscriptions, whatever you are open to doing. I will be thrilled to see your name pop up. So please do connect with me. I'd love to hear more from you. And I will be back. I will be doing more videos. I will be writing more. So I'm pretty excited to be conquering the fear that I told you about in the Substack article. And, just seeing what comes about from this. So thank you for letting me share my story. I hope this was helpful to you. And I'll see you next time. Bye now.